we had a pretty productive afternoon yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Becky got a bazillion things done now that she's on steroids for her sickness.
Lucky.
Super strong, Becky.
Kicking butts and taking names.
Right? I got a little workout in. I was pretty proud of that. I was like, all right, there we go.
You started a fight, too, trying to get in the building.
There was this high school kid went off on somebody right outside the gym. I was like easy here.
What is happening?
Right?
Did your CIA instincts kicked in?
Oh, man. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I was like...
But you actually still went inside and you didn't even ask a question, did you?
Yeah, I could tell that the front desk person was watching it, so I was like, don't take care of it.
It's fine.
Got to know your boundaries. Ross got a bunch of schoolwork done yesterday for his college classes, which is awesome. So speaking of, since he's taking Spanish, we're helping out with every Monday we do that Ross's Spanish summer school. Mm-hmm. And first phrase for this week, should we do a little accountability? How you doing?
Oh, man. A little checkup, okay.
Because the phrase, I am very grateful, right?
Yes.
I'm very grateful.
And the reason we're talking about gratitude is because of the amazing support from our listening family.
Yeah, because he's been saying that. So we're like, hey, you might as well pick a phrase you've been saying a whole lot of. So, okay, all right.
Becky, do you want to give me one, perfect example?
Yo estoy muy agradecido.
Okay. All right. Harness it. I need my music. All right, next time. It's not going to be as good because I don't have my epic
mariachi music to help you. Okay.
Yo estoy muy agradecido.
Oh,
I like it.
I think it's getting
job.
better. By the way, it's an appropriate thing for us to say because guess what? We went up over $100,000 for the Turn Up the Hope campaign.
So much.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC. The positive difference.
Ready for some good news?
We are too.
Here's your positive difference story of the day.
All right, this is a fun one that takes us to Kansas City.
Okay.
And it's about a window washing company. The company's called Window Wolf, and it's owned by Davis Rothler. But he does a little bit more than just window washing.
Okay.
He goes into small local businesses, orders food, and then starts to kind of interview the owners and hear their stories.
Okay.
And a lot of these owners are local, but there's some who have come from other countries who have been voted best chef of their country.
And then they came here and started a business.
They did.
Okay.
The sad thing is that they're struggling.
Oh, sure.
They're barely making it. And Davis says that opening your own small business is the riskiest thing you could ever possibly do.
Especially for food business, restaurant stuff is super risky.
And so this has been what he calls a window into someone's life.
A window into somebody's life. I got it.
It's not just about what they're serving. It's about the reason why they do what they do. And so he takes these businesses who are struggling financially, barely even making it, on the verge of possibly closing, to going in, interviewing them on video, obviously getting their permission, posting their video of their stories online.
Okay.
And within hours, they go from being no customers in their stores
because
to people lining up around the corner.
What?
That's actually really cool.
And so it allows for the owners to be able to share a little bit more about themselves. And they'll have customers come in and be like, I didn't know this about you. Right? So get to know them a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
And then he offers them free window cleaning because he already knows they're struggling.
Right.
And they're like, free? Yes.
Yeah, what's the catch?
Yeah, some of them have never had their windows cleaned professionally. That's a world of difference.
That's actually really, really cool.
It's a really neat business because he not only does that, but he also offers local scholarship programs and offers opportunities for other people who want to start a business to be like, hey, pitch me your idea. Let's talk about it. Let's see how I can help you get this started.
Yes. There is something to when you know a little bit more of the story. Mm-hmm. We were at a donut place the other day, and there was a husband and wife, and they're just hustling, just trying to, grind it out, make it work. They've got their sweet little kids in the back behind the counter, and one of them's drawing a picture on a cardboard box. The other one's looking at something on a screen or whatever, and I'm like, they're just trying hard to make it work. And you're like, man, when you see that, all of a sudden I was like, I don't necessarily need another donut, but I think I want to support people who are just doing what they can.
Yeah, and just like kudos to Davis Rothler for giving back, right? He started his own small business. He's made that successful, and now he's in a place where he's able to give back and help raise others up along with him, which is so sweet.
That's pretty awesome. That is our positive difference story of the day.
Real people, real life, the KLRC Morning Show.
All right, I guess it's time to practice what we preach. Yesterday we were talking about confession is good for the soul. Sometimes you got to just say it out loud. I had to walk into my house yesterday and tell my wife, I was like, I confessed my love to a 25-year-old girl that I've never even met before.
Wait, explain.
She looked at me like, what?
What's happening?
So here's the thing. So part of my job is to talk to record companies because they always call about music and stuff. And so I'm talking to this sweet young lady from Capitol Records, and the conversation's about to wrap up. Mm-hmm. In all honesty, I'm starting to mentally check out a little bit because I've got other things to do, right? I can tell it's wrapping up. And I was also trying to text my wife.
Oh, no.
So multitasking's not my biggest strength. And probably should not have tried to combine thanks for calling, we'll talk again soon, and texting I love you to my wife.
Oh, no.
And somehow I told the lady from Capitol Records, I love you. I'll see you next week.
Oh, no, Mark. How did you recover?
Oh, you can't. You can't recover. And then I hung up.
Oh, no, you hung up.
And I'm like, oh, no. So then I'm like, thankfully I had her email address because I'm like, I can't call her back. I think I can't do this. So I wrote her back. I was like, hey, I'm so sorry for the awkward ending. Really appreciate you, but I love my wife.
And then you look at what you text your wife and it's like, thank you, Capitol Records.
Yeah.
We'll talk again soon.
She writes back. She's like, oh, it's all good. We're laughing. I'm like, oh,
who's weird?
Who's we're? What in the world?
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC.
So Michelle Watson Canfield is here. She is the dad whisperer.
Yes, she is.
So thank you for coming to hang out with us.
You guys, I'm so happy to be here.
So Michelle, she's one of us.
Yes.
Lives here in Northwest Arkansas.
Yep.
And I'm really curious about this whole dad whisperer thing because this is a passion of yours.
Yes.
How did this all start? It's turned into radio interviews and a podcast and all kinds of stuff.
Well, I've been in private practice for 30 years. Yeah, it means I'm old, right? In the trenches, I've been, with people in real time in mental health. And so born out of that, and I've also been mentoring and coaching and discipling women, teens and 20s since I was 19. So a long time. I'm in my 60s now. And born out of that work, I've so often heard about dad voids or dad wounds. And so out of the blue, Luke 1, I'm reading in December of 2009 how God told Zechariah that his son John would help turn the hearts, not the heads, of fathers to their children. And I just heard God tap me on the shoulder and say, Michelle, that's what I want you to do. And I was like, what? So I reached out to 11 dads in December of 10 whose daughters were my counseling clients in their teens and 20s and said, how would you like to join me once a month for 6 months to see if there's a change in you, your daughter, and your relationship? And you guys, 10 of the 11 men said, we're in.
Wow. Okay.
Right? And I've had people say, men don't add more to an already full plate unless there's what? A crisis or a need. Am I right, Mark?
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
totally,
come on.
Totally.
And so that's how the whole thing started. So 10 years in Portland, Oregon, where I lived, we ended up doing a year and honed it, to kind of a thing that became books and podcasting and, just born out of that, I have such a passion, even speaking at men's conferences, to help equip dads to dial into the hearts of their daughters.
Yeah. Okay. So Let's see if we can get some expert advice then and learn some things this morning.
So why is a father-daughter relationship so deeply connected to a woman's sense of identity, worth, and security?
Come on. It's all three of those, isn't it? You know that as a woman.
Yeah.
So I think identity, let's start there, is usually our last name as children is the same as our dad. So that name has everything to do with everything of who we are, right? Identity. Then you add the fact that God identifies himself as a father. There's so many different ways he represents himself to us, but to say I'm a father is that we know that dads on earth build a bridge to God as a father. And so there's our identity there. And I think it's not coincidence that in John 8:44, Jesus says Satan is called the what? Father of lies. He's not called the CEO of lies, the instigator of lies, the grand poobah of lies, the father, because he's a counterfeit father who I believe wants to undermine the father, and especially I'm talking about daughter, relationship because of the power that a dad has to affirm, enforce, and reinforce identity, give us a sense of who we are, especially as women with our relationship with our dad.
Yeah, that's really powerful. Yeah, you realize what a critical role it is, and it has so much effect on others. I'm curious for those of us who are dads who are listening. Most of us, if we're honest, to ourselves and maybe even to others, would say, "Man, there's times where I've blown it. I could give you a list of regrets, and I love my daughters, and I'm so grateful for them. And I also know, man, there's moments that I've just missed it. What would you say to a dad, especially something like Father's Day comes up, and it can stir up both a lot of celebration and joy, but also I haven't been the dad. Haven't always been the dad I wish I could be. So what would you say to a dad who feels like I've just missed it?
Well, first of all, it's never too late to repair where there's been a rupture. That's what we kind of call it in my field of psychology, right?
Yeah.
Or another way to say it is if there's been a bombed out bridge between you and your daughter, come with humility. And a great question to ask is, tell me how I hurt you when.
Wow.
And then you let her fill in the blank. Tell me how I hurt you when, and then tell her I won't be defensive and I won't get angry. But I'll listen to what you say and I'll ask forgiveness. So when you come with humility, Dad, watch what happens to the heart of your daughter. She'll open up to you because she knows that you want to do it right. And one of my observations that I say from traveling from my planet of Venus to Mars, right? I'm bilingual now. I speak Venusian and Martian, is that men would often rather do nothing than do it wrong.
Yeah, I feel like that's true.
Yeah.
But I want to follow it up with saying, but doing nothing is doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And I know you want to do it right. So, Dad, when you come with humility to your daughter and say, I know I don't always get it right, and yet I want to do better, tell me how I could be a better dad to you. There's another power statement because I love practical action steps.
Yeah.
So, Dad, if there's kind of a bombed out bridge, come with humility. Tell me how I hurt you when. And maybe things are going great. Come to your daughter and ask, how could I be a better dad to you today or this week? I guarantee she'll tell you something.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. And it's so hopeful, too, for anyone.
Yeah, I have a question to that, too. I was just thinking, you've seen so many father-daughter relationships and kind of how they start off maybe on the wrong foot, and then you come in and you help it out. So my question is, how have you seen God redeem broken father-daughter stories?
Even just you asking that, Ross, I have so many different stories just running through my mind and my heart that I have so many. I'm like, which one to pick?
Right.
I think of one dad who had 4 sons and his 17-year-old daughter, Megan, just skipping school, not responding well to this dad. And he goes, I don't know what I'm doing wrong and I don't know what to do right. How does this get redeemed, like you said? And so he's like, Doc, what do you have for me? And I'm like, you know what? Why don't you try putting 2 words, I'm wondering, in front of the question you're asking her about why she's skipping school? Because she hears you interrogating her, not really asking her a question. So he goes home, Megan, I'm wondering, why didn't you go to school today? And she's like, oh, I did go to school. We had an early release, Dad. He was like, what just happened? I'm like, your tone changed. She heard it more as an inquiry than an interrogation. There's a story. I know another story with a dad, 8th grade daughter, Maggie, experimenting with drugs, alcohol, a lot of rebellion, and he cannot connect with her heart. It's just bombed out bridge, right? So he's learning how to ask better questions and learning how to listen. I always tell Dad, 2 ears, 1 mouth, right? Listen longer than you talk. Watch what happens. And so she'd turn in her keys and her phone, right? At night. He's like, puts his hand out. She gives him her keys and her phone. And he's like, I get up at 5 a.m. I don't have any bandwidth to have a conversation. But he starts learning how to stay longer, listen longer. And he said what was like 1 minute of exchange at the beginning turned into 5 minutes, turned into 10 minutes. He said it got up sometimes to an hour. And he goes, wow. I'm not going to lie. That was hard to get up the next morning. Yeah. But he said, I wouldn't trade it for anything because of what happened. And then what was so cool is in this dad's group called the Abba Project, God gave me that name for this dad's group. Abba meaning daddy in Aramaic, and men love a project. Am I right, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, tell me what to do to fix it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And get to the point already.
Right.
That's what
Tasks.
men say.
Yes.
Yep. And so this dad learned how to dial in, and these other dads were like cheering him on, going, way to go, way to listen. You want one more?
Yeah, please.
Okay, one of my favorite action steps for dads is I'm like, go get a pad of sticky notes, which you probably have on your desk. Go get a dry erase marker. And I want you to use those today where you write messages on your daughter's mirrors. Mm-hmm. Because, am I right? We look in the mirror and see every flaw, every flaw. Men are like, nope, I don't see all that, right? We see it all. So imagine the power of a dad's messages on the exact mirror that we're looking in as daughters. That says, you're beautiful to me. I love you just the way you are. Sounds like a song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, cue music.
Right.
And yet when a dad writes a message on his daughter's mirror, dry erase marker or sticky note, I've been in homes, no lie, of daughters that have kept those messages for months. Mm-hmm. And the dad's like, I can't even believe that carries any weight. Like we talked about at the beginning, it does. So dad, there's a practical way that I've watched dad after dad in the redemption stories you asked. Oh my goodness, just where there's been healing not only in their relationship, but even in this daughter's view of herself because of her dad's way to affirm. And it gives dads a practical way to make a difference and speak in a short way, a little note to his daughter about how he sees her.
Wow. That, I wish I would have heard this years ago. But I think I think I've stumbled on it a couple of times. I was thinking about a few years ago, my daughter Ruth was playing basketball. She's tall, but she's super skinny. And she was going up against Goliath. This girl was so tall, so strong, just massive, right? And I have this picture that I took, and she's doing everything she can to just kind of hold her off, right? Yeah. Total disproportionate. But I remember, and I was like, I just had this nudge. I was like, I think you should send her that picture. I printed it off. And all I wrote down there was, you're stronger than you think you are.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Oh.
And here's the thing. I walked into her room. I mean, she's in college now. Yeah. It's still on her wall.
Wow. Come on.
And it was just this, I hadn't planned, it wasn't a big, deep, and so if God can do something through a little picture and a little note, I'm thinking about the idea you've given us about being intentional for all these notes could be really,
look at me. Powerful. I'm tearing up just hearing that story.
Yeah.
Wow.
The power of a dad's messages, right? And I think there's another practical action step. Some dads listening that maybe are struggling because they're estranged from their daughters or there's divorce and they don't get those points of connection. Go run off a picture and put it up and write a note of prayer on that picture.
That's such a good idea.
That'll keep your heart open and your hope alive.
Yeah. That's
so
really
sweet.
good.
So for those of us moms, who want to try to come in and save the day with every relationship in our household.
Speaking for a friend.
Maybe. What would you say to those of us moms who want to encourage that healthier relationship between, the father and the daughters in our home? And how do we do that in a way that doesn't come across as controlling, but supportive?
My best friend, married, 45 years now, has joined me on my podcast, The Dad Whisperer, to talk about how moms can support. And one of the things she said has stuck with me for years. She says, one, I've had to watch how I speak about him when he's not in the room. So for starters, if you want to support your husband or ex-husband's relationship with your daughter, watch what you say when he's not in the room, for starters. Number two, another way is she said, I would set him up to succeed. So when he would come home, I would cue him on how to approach her. Like, she had a really hard day. I think when you go in there, maybe soften it. Just check in on her feelings, not her thoughts. I've had dads go like, how'd your day go? If you ask it, how did you feel today at school? Ask a feeling question. But setting your husband or ex-husband up to succeed with your daughter is another way that you won't come across as a controlling woman, but as a supportive woman in your home.
So practical. And hits home.
It's really, really good. All right, one last question. Michelle, first of all, thank you so much for spending this time. If you were coaching me as a dad, or the rest of us dads listening, and there were one thing that we need to know about our daughters' hearts, what's the most important thing we need to know about their heart?
I'm going to give you 3 words, Dad.
Okay.
Drop your anger. If there's one thing I could say to you, because there's a lot of things, right? But I love that you asked me that question, Mark. What's one thing? And here's why I'm going to tell you this is a really big deal. Is a couple of years ago, I had a friend interview me on the 15 tools in my first book. Dad, here's what I really need from you. A guide for connecting with your daughter's heart. 15 tools, right?
Yeah.
And one of them is drop your anger. They took a 47-second clip where I said, Dad, when you respond in anger, your daughter will shut down. She'll give up and stop trying. She'll internalize your view of her, that something's wrong with her, that she's not worthy. And I knew you as a dad are not realizing that's how you're coming across at all. But I want you to know that's what happens in your daughter when you respond in anger. So make a commitment today with your mouth, make a vow you will never respond in anger, which I know is easier said than done. You guys, that's all I said in this 47-second clip. It went viral. 3.4 million views, which really saddens me. Why is that such a universal topic when dads, especially those dads that are listening that love Jesus and want to be a bridge to God as a father, one of the most effective ways you can build that bridge to God as a father is not to respond in anger and to make a commitment today within yourself that if your blood starts to boil, go take a time out. Here's another practical action step that's as many minutes as your age. Right? Don't you give your kids a 3-minute timeout?
Right. Yeah, us adults, I'm looking at a minute to an hour.
Yeah, but I mean, as many minutes as your age. If you're 50, you're going to take a 50-minute timeout for your brain to calm down.
Yep.
You'll never regret waiting to respond, to correct. When you're calmed, your nervous system is regulated. It's one of the best gifts you can ever give to your daughter.
That's so good. All right, so Michelle Watson Canfield, if you mentioned the book, you've written a number of books, you've got the podcast. What's the best way if people wanted to hey, I want to go see some more about the Dad Whisperer podcast, the books, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
So you can go to my website, which is just simply drmichellewatson.com. Second book is Let's Talk, Conversation Starters for Dads and Daughters, because I want to put practical action steps into men's hands that they can read these scripts and really lead a deeper connection with their daughter's heart.
Yeah.
And so drmichellewatson.com.
Okay. And she brought some extra books.
Yes.
So we're going to put these, we'll do a little giveaway on the KLRC Morning Show Facebook page. So if you want to check that out later on today, thank you so very much.
Thank you
for coming to hang out.
It's so great here to be with you. Thanks for having me.